I'm gonna bust your face open. I kill you. You are dead tomorrow.
Facing the champion's provocation, I calmly extended my right hand to show him respect.
Hey, are you crazy?
At that moment, a surge of anger ignited deep inside me. I put on my mouth guard and unleashed all that anger on him, making him pay for what he just did. With this one punch, I could have ended the match completely, but I chose to hold back. In this round, I showed exceptional fighting skills, and also demonstrated sportsmanship to the audience. During the break, Coach Oh-jin suggested I keep using strategy 3, and target his right eye, which would make it easy to win the fight. But I refused to keep using that tactic, because one more punch would have meant at least 30 stitches over his eye.
아니야, 건우야. 저 새끼 챔피언이야. 어떻게 나올지 몰라. 그냥 기회 있으니까 끝장 내버려야 된다니까? 사냥개 1호를 믿자. 우리 둘이 처음 만난 콤보잖아.
Seeing this, Oh-jin agreed to switch to strategy 1, but he told me my next punch had to be faster.
빨리. 졸라 빨리. 빨리. 나가.
At the start of the next round, I pulled out my most signature move.
왼손 바디샷 꽂힙니다. 정확하게 들어갔는데요. 랩트 바디예요. 정확하게 꽂힙니다. 그대로 부서지는 아디펠로프 선수입니다. 강한 주먹을 맞았어요. 데미지가 굉장히 커 보이는 아디펠로프 선수인데요. 못 일어납니다. 아디펠로프. 자, 카운트다운 경기.
When the round ended, I successfully claimed the championship belt, but I didn't feel much joy. Instead, I walked up to my opponent and once again extended my right hand in respect.
You good fighter, forget what I said. It's just business. Thank you.
Right after the match, my opponent Belyaev barely had time to rest before he was taken straight to an underground fight ring. He had once been set up by the mob and was left with massive debt. At the same time, they used his daughter as leverage to force him into underground fights. Even though he was badly injured, he had no choice but to keep fighting. But what he didn't know was that this match would cost him his life. Because his opponent was the mob boss Baek Young, his attacks were ruthless, targeting Belyaev's injured eye, giving him no chance to fight back. Just 2 minutes into the fight, Belyaev was already disoriented. Forced to endure endless, brutal blows, Belyaev completely lost consciousness. The opponent was clearly already knocked unconscious, but Baek Jong had his men turn off the cameras before striking again. This brutal beating of the champion earned him $720,000, but he still wasn't satisfied, so he ordered his men to bring him the person who defeated Bellew in the ring. The person he was talking about was me. At that moment, we were eating barbecue to celebrate me winning the championship belt. Soon they arrived at my house. They lied and said they were my gym partners and got my mother to open the door. When we realized something was wrong, we immediately told my mother to go upstairs. We would handle things here. Baek Jong said he runs a boxing league called KFC. As long as I fight one match for them, he would pay me 10 billion won as compensation. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted.
건우야, 복싱하다가 다치면 평생 병신으로 살아. 내가 아는 애들 좆된 새끼들 많아. 벌 수 있을 때 벌자. 응? 한 판만 뛰어. 한 판만 뛰면 앞으로 돈 걱정 안 해도 돼.
The huge payment made me hesitate. Then he added another 5 billion. My breathing instantly started getting heavier. But right at that moment, my mother ran downstairs.
엄마 저 돈 필요 없어. 너희랑 같이 운동하는 친구들이서 문 열어줬어. 사람 속이는 인간들이 준 돈이 정당하겠니? 불의한 돈은 값을 치르게 돼 있어.
What my mother said made a lot of sense. In the end, we refused him, but they didn't give up. Just as we had gone to bed, a group of masked men started moving. They turned on a signal jammer to prevent any accidents. 2 men in black quickly pulled out tape and covered my mother's mouth, then skillfully tied up her hands and feet and carried her away. But one of the masked men lost his grip, causing my mother to fall to the ground. The noise instantly woke me up.
엄마! 건우야! 엄마! 야, 안 돼. 형, 나와 있어요.
During the struggle, I saw my mother being taken by another man. In desperation, I jumped down from the second floor. I endured the pain and charged at them, but was pinned down by the masked man coming downstairs. I took off the jacket that was getting in the way of fighting, but didn't expect another accomplice to walk in through the door, and he was holding a high-tech weapon. At that moment, the men outside working for Baekjong saw they still hadn't come out, so they immediately drove away. Meanwhile, I was no match for the three of them by myself, especially since they had electric batons. But Ujin was fighting pretty easily. Seeing their companion fall from upstairs, they didn't care about finishing the mission and hurriedly escaped. Seeing that my mother was not seriously hurt, I immediately chased after the direction they fled, but I didn't expect. I had just won the World Boxing Championship and was forced to face off against the owner of an underground fight club. This match had no rules, only death. Just yesterday, my mother and brother's lives were threatened by Baekjong. To keep them from getting hurt, I went to Baekjong myself and agreed to fight him in a match. But what I didn't know was, the underground fight scene was even darker than I imagined. When it came time to prepare, one of Baekjong's men handed me 2 metal plates, but I refused them. I was going to win this fight my own way. What I didn't expect was, Baekjong, wanting the ratings as high as possible, arranged 2 underground fighters for me. Only if I beat them would I earn the right to fight him. My first opponent was Black Mantis. His reach was extremely long, making him the perfect counter to me. Even the betting amounts backstage multiplied several times because of my appearance. Soon the match began. I didn't take a defensive stance. I attacked first, but before I could even touch him, I took a solid punch.
Whoa! Now it's getting wild now, yo. They are throwing each at each other like there's no tomorrow. Look at Chip Samuel with that. Way too fast.
After the probing was over, my footwork sped up while my arms slowly dropped.
This step is getting faster now. It is getting faster and faster. What is this?
Black Mantis was knocked out with 1 punch. The bettors all started spamming question marks. My second opponent was a crafty Thai fighter. He tried to sneak attack me during the handshake. Facing his attack, I was pushed onto the defensive. The metal in his fists made every punch I took hurt twice as much. Meanwhile, my punches barely did any damage to him. The constant blows left me in intense pain, but at the same time, my anger reached its peak. Baekjong's fighting skills were extremely high. For a while, neither of us could gain the upper hand. Then Baekjong used his signature move. His right hand swung vertically, while his eyes stared straight at me. That sudden punch hit me so hard it stunned me, instantly putting me on the defensive. Baekjong had no sportsmanship at all. He directly dug his fingers into my injured eye socket. At that moment, I realized winning wasn't victory, surviving was. Baekjong kept smashing my arm repeatedly. It looked like he intended to cripple me. My wrist was broken on the spot. After that, there was no suspense left in the fight. I ultimately lost this 1 versus 3 battle. Just then, the hacker discovered a large number of police cars at the front gate. He immediately told everyone to evacuate within 3 minutes. But Baekjong still wanted to keep fighting, only to be pulled away by Manbei, who told him to leave now. When I woke up, I was already lying in the hospital. Ujin scolded me, saying I shouldn't act recklessly anymore, and that I should discuss things with him so we could face problems together. Meanwhile, the police uncovered Baekjong's identity. It turned out he was once Korea's most promising boxer. He had achieved 17 straight wins at the Asian Games, but lost in the championship match. However, he refused to accept the referee's decision, so he beat up the referee and coach on the spot. As a result, he was expelled from the Boxing Association and spent 2 years in prison. After getting out, he disappeared without a trace. At this moment, Baekjong was negotiating with investors. They thought the earlier match was extremely exciting and were willing to spend $400 million to buy 51% of KFC's shares. But they demanded that I sign a contract to fight only in KFC for the next 3 years. And in the next match, Baekjong had to lose to me because KFC doesn't need 2 stars.
I don't like it.
What?
If I see you, I'll kill you.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you too, 씨발 새끼야!
After the police learned Baekjong's real identity, they immediately carried out an arrest. The doctor treating Baekjong was arrested on the spot. After hearing the noise, Baekjong immediately grabbed a scalpel to make a final stand.
임백정 손 들어.
Typical Korean police, they clearly had guns but didn't dare to use them. Even knowing they couldn't win, they still went in for close combat. This arrest went relatively smoothly. Normally, Baekjong would be sentenced to life in prison. But when he got into the police car and saw Manbei, who betrayed him, his anger and desire for revenge were reignited. As the police car was heading to the station, a group of hounds blocked the road. All the windows were smashed, and the officers immediately fought back with tasers. At that moment, Detective Gwangmu from behind saw what was happening, and immediately sped up and crashed into them. Baekjong had already anticipated this. Using his only movable legs, he interfered with the officers' counterattack, and suddenly choked one of the officers. Seeing the situation turn bad, Senior Gwangmu immediately grabbed Baekjong, trying to drag him into his own car. But Baekjong's strength was far from ordinary, and they couldn't subdue him for a while. Only after using a taser did they barely manage to restrain him.
풀어주십시오. 돕겠습니다. 한명 풀어줘.
Just as they were about to drag Baekjong into the car, 2 S-Class hounds arrived on motorcycles. The officer immediately stepped forward to fight, but he completely underestimated them. For them, killing was a job, and every move they made was ruthless and aimed to kill. Seeing the officer on the verge of death, Manbei immediately rushed in to help. At this moment, Senior Gwangmu and Manbei were going back and forth with 2 S-Class hounds. But they didn't notice that after being hit by a taser, Baekjong hadn't fully passed out. And while the detective's attention was on the fight, he suddenly locked his legs around the officer's neck, got up, and started kicking his head violently. After taking out the detective, Baekjong immediately called his men over to unlock his handcuffs. He was furious at this point. Faced with Manbei's betrayal, he decided to kill him with his own hands. But Senior Gwangmu stepped in to stop him right away, knowing just how insane Baekjong could be when enraged. But Baekjong's attacks were extremely fierce, and Gwangmu couldn't handle them at all. He couldn't even defend himself, let alone fight back. After taking down Guangmu, Baekjeong walked straight toward Manbei. At this point, he no longer cared about friend or foe, with only one thought left to kill Manbei. Even after repeatedly kicking Manbei's head, Baekjeong still wasn't satisfied. He grabbed Manbei by the hair and slammed him hard onto the stone steps. Manbei, a former Special Forces soldier, was filled with rage but powerless to resist.
내가 네 딸은 꼭 죽여줄게.
In the end, his neck was crushed under Baekjeong's foot. After escaping capture, Baekjeong immediately called his subordinates and sent 2 more S-class hounds along with Kang and Byum to capture my mother. Even though my brother Ujin tried to stop them with his life, he still couldn't prevent them from taking her away. To save my mother, we agreed to Baekjeong's demand to fight in a match worth 100 billion won, and we finally stuffed iron into the gloves. This was a fight that determined my mother's life, so any so-called sportsmanship didn't exist here at all. At the same time, my good brother Lee Do-young started searching the building for my mother. Maybe it was just plot armor, but he fought his way through an entire building of hounds before finally finding her. But there were 2 hounds guarding the place, so a brutal fight was unavoidable. After taking care of both of them, he tore off the hood from my mother, only to realize at that moment that he'd been tricked. Meanwhile, on our side, we chose to have Ujin fight Baekjeong, but his goal wasn't to defeat him.
나다 백정 이 씨발놈아 뒤진다.
Baekjeong was successfully provoked by trash talk, and every punch he threw became even more forceful, but he didn't realize this was only the beginning. The first thing Ujin did after getting back up was start talking trash again, which completely enraged the underground champion, who wanted nothing more than to kill him with a single punch. Ujin knew he was no match for Baekjeong, so his goal was never to beat him but to damage his eyes. The day before the match, we managed to find Baekjeong's former coach. According to him, Baekjeong was a boxing prodigy, but he had a fatal flaw: arrogance. And his fighting style was called the unicorn by the coach, because he relied heavily on his right hand and had eyes that could read his opponent's moves. So Ujin's mission was to injure his eyes.
백정이
Ujin stood up once again, and even while being beaten into a bloody mess, he managed to land a hit on Baekjeong's eye. Before facing him again, my opponent was my former enemy Kang in Byum. The Kang in Byum now fights brutally, moves fast, and is nothing like he used to be. On top of the size difference, I couldn't deal any effective damage to him at first. Even though there was still a gap in our strength, I relied on sharper, more fluid footwork, and the iron block in my hand to gradually break down Kang in Byum's defense. But in doing so, I also pushed his anger to the max. At a critical moment, I shoved him away. He tried to continue the beating from before, but I seized the opening in his defense and launched my counterattack. Then, Baekjeong and I entered our final showdown. Maybe he never expected it. The guy he nearly beat to death last time now had much sharper, more aggressive punches. But what he didn't know was, the moment I picked up that iron block, my goal was to completely take him down. Baekjong caught an opening, knocked me to the ground, and slammed hard into my shoulder, trying to break my arm again just like last time. After my arm was injured, my reactions were clearly slower, but I used his own move against him, grabbing his eye socket, slamming him to the ground, and giving back every bit of damage he dealt to me. In the end, that once arrogant underground fight king was completely defeated by me.